John Wayne's final visit to Johnny Carson, a night that touched America. A fictional emotional story inspired by real people. The studio lights glowed as the audience applauded. Johnny Carson smiled warmly as he welcomed one of Hollywood's greatest legends, John Wayne, to the stage. John Wayne walked slowly, his familiar cowboy stride a little weaker than it had once been. The applause lasted longer than usual. Everyone sensed they were witnessing something special. Johnny shook his hand and said, "Duke, it's always an honor." Wayne smiled softly. "Thank you, Johnny, it's good to be here." The audience laughed as the two old friends shared stories about classic westerns, long days on movie sets, and the changing face of Hollywood. John Wayne's humor was still sharp, but behind his smile there was a quiet sadness. Johnny noticed it. After a brief silence, Johnny leaned forward. "Duke, after all these years, what do you think about when you're alone?" The audience became completely silent. John Wayne looked down at his hands before answering. "I don't think about the movies," he said quietly. "I think about time." He paused. "When you're young, you believe you'll always have another tomorrow, another ride, another sunrise. Then one day you realize the sunsets are becoming more precious." Johnny's smile faded. Wayne continued, "I've played heroes all my life, cowboys who never backed down, men who always knew what to do, but real life isn't like the movies." His voice became softer. "There are battles you can't win. There are roads you can't ride forever." Many people in the audience wiped tears from their eyes. Johnny asked gently, "Are you afraid?" John Wayne smiled. "Not of dying." He looked toward the audience. "I'm afraid of being forgotten." The room became completely still. Johnny quickly replied, "Duke, I don't think America could ever forget you." The audience erupted into applause. John Wayne's eyes glistened. "You know," he said, "the greatest gift isn't fame, it isn't money. It's hearing someone say, 'You made my life a little brighter.'" The applause slowly faded. Johnny looked emotional. "What would you say to your fans if this were the last time they ever saw you?" John Wayne took a deep breath. "I'd thank every family who welcomed my stories into their homes, every father who watched a Western with his son, every mother who believed there was still honor in the world." He smiled gently. "And I'd tell every young person, don't waste your time chasing only success. Chase kindness, chase courage, love the people beside you while you still can." Silence filled the studio. Johnny Carson lowered his head for a moment, struggling to hold back emotion. Wayne noticed. "Johnny," he said with a grin, "don't you start crying before I do." The audience laughed through their tears. Johnny smiled. "I can't help it, Duke." For a few moments, neither man spoke. The cameras captured two friends who understood that life moves faster than anyone expects. As the interview came to an end, the audience rose to its feet. The standing ovation seemed endless. John Wayne stood, removed his cowboy hat, and held it over his heart. "Thank you," he whispered. "Thank you for letting an old cowboy ride with you for so many years." Johnny walked over and embraced him. "No jokes. No punchline. Just respect." As John Wayne slowly walked toward the stage exit, he turned one last time and waved. The audience continued applauding until he disappeared behind the curtain. Johnny looked toward the empty doorway and quietly said, "Good night, Duke." Sometimes the loudest applause comes after the quietest goodbye. And in that imagined final moment, America wasn't saying goodbye to a movie star. It was saying goodbye to a legend, whose courage, strength, and humanity would continue to inspire generations. The lights faded. The applause echoed. And somewhere beyond the cameras, the old cowboy rode into one final sunset.